How's it going, traders? Richard K from Price Action and Income, and in today's YouTube video I want to be talking a little bit about Bitcoin. It's been a pretty extremely volatile environment that cryptos went through recently. I just want to show you some of the charts that I've done in the previous update as well on Bitcoin. Levels that I was watching before it was actually reached, and then obviously this pattern. I'm going to be going through all these chart markings in this video for you, so don't worry about it looking a little bit messy at the moment. But in my opinion, disregarding all the news that's coming out of China that they want to increase regulation, the US that wants to increase regulation, and obviously Elon Musk that also tweeted that they're not going to start accept crypto anymore, Bitcoin anymore, all installed fear in the markets, and we had this tremendous sell-off, which is pretty crazy to see. But we are also dealing with Bitcoin here, probably the most volatile market on the planet, and with it also dragged down all the altcoins. So again, I'm quickly going to go through some of the stuff that I've been watching in Bitcoin. I've had some people either on the YouTube channel, some of my members here at the Price Action Income asked me to have a look at Bitcoin for them. And I actually had some levels here, which I'll go through now, that I've had on my charts for quite some time, just to show you that we are at a very interesting level, in my opinion, for Bitcoin. Hopefully it does find support soon for all those crypto aficionados out there, and even some altcoins. So let me go through the analysis first, but before I do that, I just want to quickly show you this video that I've shot. This was on the March 2021 this year, a couple of months back, and I used a fib extension technique that's which is a range expansion technique. It's a bit different than using fibs. And I was saying at that stage we should be watching the 58 to 60 odd level for a possible area of resistance. And although price did overshoot that quite a bit, that level was between, let's say, here to around about here. It did create this ending diagonal type of pattern, which is quite often leads to strong sell-offs. So although the news out of China or whatever, Elon said, or whatever the case might be, for me, the writing was on the wall that we need to be careful. Knowing about these levels, especially when you're dealing with a market that can have these parabolic moves like Bitcoin, it's always great to know where these levels are and take note of them. So, there's a good saying, as soon as your mom or the taxi driver or Uber driver or whatever is all talking about Bitcoin, and they must all jump into Bitcoin and they're buying or putting their life savings into this, then you must be careful. It's quite often what happens at tops. That's what happened at the top in 2017. I've had friends call me up and say, like, where do I put all my savings into? Which coin, which altcoin, Ethereum, Bitcoin, what should I do? And it's like, nobody. It's just dangerous stuff you're dealing with here. You can't buy at these highs. Now, obviously, this is why technical analysis always helped me stay on the right side of the market. Quite often, you'll get things wrong, obviously. As with Bitcoin, things might just continuously go up and up and up for ages. But like I mentioned, working with very high time frames on parabolic markets like I did on that March 21st video. If you have not seen it, please go to the channel, subscribe, and go have a look at that video, and you'll see there that we've said this could be a very strong sort of area of resistance. Now, together with a chart pattern that unfolded, an ending diagonal, on the bigger scheme of things, I'm thinking this is a wave 3. If you just quickly have a look at this video without me marking it though, I think this high in 2017 could have possibly been a first wave, second wave, third wave now, and now we're sitting down here somewhere. With a very strong decline that we're seeing in Bitcoin, it went as low as below the 30,000 level. But just quickly, interesting things here, a bit of time cycle work as well. And I'm seeing this quite often with ending diagonals, and as well with zigzags quite often, is that you'll have repeating time cycles, if you can call that, between highs and lows and lows and highs. So very interesting when you start seeing this and you could identify the pattern as well. It's quite a good leading indication that you can expect a directional change, which we obviously had here. So let me just explain all these lines here. You all know that I love using my pitchforks to try to figure out where price might be moving to and support and resistance might come in. Now, well, at this first high in 21st Feb to the second high, which is high 20 bars. From this low to this low, 25 bars. From this low to that high, 20 bars again. So we have 2 20 bars or 2 20-day trading days repeating there. Then from this high to this lower high within a day, actually, this was the actual high here, again a repeat of the 25 bars. Then from this low to a recent low, which is a day before we had this decline. Price hasn't broken this low again. I will look at a smaller time frame soon and see if we could see what's going on down here. There was also a repeat. Now, whether this is going to actually work as support, who knows, but it's at 3 different pitchforks median lines. We have a green pitchfork between the last 2 highs and this pivot over here, and from that starting point, and they all meeting around about this area that I identified beforehand. And we also then have a standard pitchfork, which I slope strongly in the direction because it angles more strongly because it's a standard pitchfork. As you all know, Swiss shift pitchforks and modified shift pitchforks are not as steep angled as your standard pitchfork might be. Well, we had 3 different lines coming together there, and price basically reached this. Now, the question is this an ABC that we've seen to the downside? Let's just quickly have a look at that. Let's use a fib extension. My opinion, very overextended. We have a 1.618% extension of this first drop measured to that high, an extension, or where it came together over here. I've also had the support area here, but as soon as price broke it, this was the next place where I was looking at before it actually got there. Now we had this reaction. Now the question is this over or not? All things Bitcoin related, people are saying like, wow, this is such a deep correction. Well, it is, but it is also the most volatile market on planet Earth. So even the 2017 leading into, we almost hit the 20,000 level in 2017, going all the way down into, what was it, 3,800 that it pulled back into. That was a hell of a correction as well. So on the bigger scheme of things, I'm thinking this is a third wave high that ended on an ending diagonal. Now you either have an A, B, C, a very extended C wave happening over here, or we could have a expanded flat, meaning that we have A, B, C. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 with another final 5th wave lower to follow. But in any case, I'm still viewing this as a correction. Very interesting area where it's stuck in right now. I would not be surprised if it breaks this low again. But if we do get another reversal to the upside after that, this might be the end of the move for me. Alternatively, if price breaks this, then I think it could get even nastier. It could definitely go much lower. My next area of supports are around here by the 23,000 levels or even the 16,000 levels. But, I'm also very interested in crypto. I do sometimes buy, but I get out when I believe a top was in, and I was out round about here long before this happened. Like I said, go have a look again at that video. It was a dangerous area to actually buy into the top, in my opinion, and fortunately I saved myself and a few investors a little bit of a heartache there. Now obviously the idea now would be to figure out where to get in again, and as always, this is just my opinion, guys. It's not investing advice, so please make your own decisions with regarding to your own money and what money you're using to invest and so forth. So let's quickly go to a smaller time frame. Let's take a 4-hour, for example, and I also just want to get rid of some of these lines so we can see a little bit better what's going on there. If this was the end of a C wave, price hasn't broken this low again. It was actually yesterday. But if it does, we might actually be seeing a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which could be an ending diagonal. It's too early days to say that for sure. But if we can come back into this sort of area without breaking higher, it's going to start looking to me either as a 1, because ending diagonals work in waves of 3s. But this could also be a 1, 2, 3, 4 with another 5th wave lower. Or this could be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, a bit more of a longer dragged out ending diagonal. So very, very interesting times. Price can very well put this low again, but if it goes much lower than this lower median line of this blue one, which is currently lying at about the 28,000. Let me just get that properly. 28,000. Let's call it 28,600 level. I could put that in there for you. And a break below there in a very impulsive fashion is not going to be good for Bitcoin, in my opinion. So that's where I stand. This doesn't look like a start of a new wave to upside, because we've got a 1, 2, 3. I think we're still coming down. We could have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And if it does break, then at that stage above this upper trend line, then it might be the end of things. But I'll be very conservative with this. Price has got a lot to do and prove itself to recover from all of this bad news and stuff that recently occurred. If we can reclaim the 44,000 level in a proper fashion, then by all means I would probably consider a low to be in. And this might seem a fair distance away, but as you all know, Bitcoin can move very fast, and a big difference in a distance in a short period of time. Right, guys, so that's my opinion of Bitcoin. I think we're in a 4th wave correction. 4th wave corrections can quite often take long in the bigger scheme of things. They can be very, I'm going to say volatile in nature, and they can also be very confusing. I mean, this whole thing could turn out to be one hell of a massive triangle. It could take, I don't know, till the end of this year to complete. But in either case, still bullish here. And let's see what happens. We can have a look at Bitcoin now and then if you guys are interested in looking at Bitcoin quite often. And if you are, then just please drop a comment down in the comment section below this video. And like I said, if you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It helps me to continuously make more videos for you guys. Okay, thanks for watching. Until next time, goodbye.